Good morning, everyone. It's 10:01. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And as always, our first item on the agenda is public comment. So Dawn, could you please do your thing?
Of course, would you like me to do the roll call first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Jerry Abrahams.
Here.
Cindy Butts.
Here.
Alexandra Dahm.
Here.
Wendy Clark.
Wendy will be a little late.
Thank you. Phil DeFranzo.
Here.
Heidi DeWeingart.
Here.
Kylie Gosselin is not able to be with us this morning. Tim Hodges. Catherine McKinnon.
Here.
Commissioner Mosquera Bruno.
Here.
Commissioner Perez. Franklin Perry. Daryl Hill. Lisa Tupper Bates. Greg Ugalde.
Here.
Thank you. You do have a quorum for this meeting.
Thank you, Dawn. So let's
Yes.
proceed with public comments.
Of course. This is the only opportunity on the agenda for the public to provide comments. If you would like to provide a comment and you're joining us virtually, please unmute yourself and state your name. If you're in the boardroom, please state your name and make your comments. To ensure that everyone has the opportunity, comments will be limited to 3 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Carol Martin. I am representing Gyroscope Development Group and Lascano Homes of Orange. I've lived in the town of Orange since 1992, and my comments this morning will be brief. However, the brevity, I would hope, would not be received as trivial. I want to express my genuine appreciation to Anthony for her thoughtful and deliberate leadership. I also would like to include my appreciation of Hazine Taib, Pat Giuliano, Joe Vocio, Deb Alter, Jennifer Landau, Steve Norris, and many other CHFA staff that have contributed to this expedited request before you this morning for the project known as Lascano Homes of Orange. For those who have said that CHFA moves too slowly, I am here before you to celebrate how quickly CHFA staff has performed for this important affordable housing project in Orange, Connecticut. A first for our town to be receiving an affordable housing development funded with low-income housing tax credits. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and all the members of the CHFA Board of Directors for your willingness to entertain this request for funding. I look forward to your vote to approve. Many thanks, and please keep up the good and very important work that you all do. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank you,
those
Carol.
comments. Any other comments? Hearing no additional comments, the public comment period has now ended. Commissioner?
Thank you, Dawn. Before we go to the report of our CEO, I do want to mention and recognize our board member, Alexandra Dahm, Deputy Commissioner of the Department of DECD, appointed to be the Commissioner of DECD. Alexandra, congratulations. I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dale. That's unexpected, but much appreciated. And I'm looking forward to continuing to work with this board and with this organization in my new and improved seat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nandini?
Great. Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. As part of my report this morning, I'm going to be walking through a brief PowerPoint to discuss our 2023 goals with you. As you might know, actually, I don't see the PowerPoint. Is it being shared or? There we go. As you might know, this is the last year of our 3-year strategic plan that the board adopted in 2020. And I look forward to working with you all for the new plan, but for the current plan, we are producing the following goals. So What you see before you here is a graphic that demonstrates what is known as the OKR, Objectives and Key Results Framework. It's a goal-setting framework to define measurable goals and track their outcomes for an organization. It demonstrates how objectives and key results flow down from our strategic plan and mission and core values and flow up from our CHFA team objectives and initiatives. Key results, which are in the middle of this pyramid, are the metrics by which we will plan to evaluate our ability to meet the objectives. At the team level, there are over 40 objectives that flow down from the organization's 9 objectives and over 90 initiatives that flow down from the organization's 28 initiatives. I'm very grateful to the work that has been done so far in coming up with this. It has been a lot of work, but it's been rewarding as well. Next slide, please. Our first objective is around homeownership production, which relates back to goals 3 and 6 in the strategic plan. We have 2 key results. The first key result is we're targeting 1,300 homeownership loans to be purchased in 2023 with a stretch goal of 1,600 loans. We will continue to raise awareness of CHFA's programs, look for ways to enhance lender participation in those programs through existing or new partners. We have recently begun business development activities and will be engaging more directly with lenders to demonstrate to them the value of participation in our programs. The second key result is we will target at least 42% of our homeownership loans at non-white borrowers with a stretch goal of 45%. We will continue to implement and improve on down payment assistance programs as necessary and pursue any needed legislative changes with DOH's assistance. We will pursue a rental to homeownership program using housing choice vouchers with education to renters, municipalities, administrators of the housing choice voucher program, as well as look to increase lender participation in these types of loans. Next slide, please. The second objective is around multifamily or rental housing production, goals 4 and 6 in the strategic plan. The first key result is to target 1,650 rental units initial closing in 2023 with a stretch goal of 2,100. We will continue to apply our funding creatively to maximize proceeds to the developments, to facilitate unit creation, explore partnerships for funding, including sources that target energy efficiency, and work on a preservation product for developments needing to be stabilized for the long term, financially and from an affordability standpoint. Next slide, please. The third objective is to financially innovate, goals 3, 4, and 6. Key result is to commit at least $20.6 million from our ITA account and $8.3 million from our opportunity fund in 2023. Next slide. The fourth objective pertains to our branding and marketing activities, goals 5 and 6. As part of our 2022 goals, we had a rebrand plan that was to be completed by year end. This initiative is about 50% complete and is going to be fully completed in 2023, which will involve the delivery of an implementation plan. Part of our brand strength also comes to us from the feedback we receive from our stakeholders about CHFA's responsiveness and our organizational effectiveness. We have targeted an initiative that will allow us to measure whether we have improved on the ratings of a survey that was conducted in 2020. Next, please. Objective 5 relates to the creation of operational efficiencies and streamlining of selected CHFA processes, which is goal 7. The first key result is to continue to improve upon the time it takes an application for multifamily financing to move from board approval to an initial close for CHFA finance developments. We are targeting 120 days for that. Our second key result is to improve upon the time it is taking for CHFA to turn around loan reviews for loans submitted to us by lenders. We're targeting 10 business days with a stretch goal of 2 business days. We are also planning to reinitiate discussions with a number of development community stakeholders to seek input on where CHFA's review of applications slows down the process of getting a development to an initial close. We have begun to and will continue to work internally and with DOH to clarify, simplify, and remove redundancies in our processes. Part of our efforts will involve reviewing selected requirements in CHFA standards to evaluate their need and effectiveness. On the homeownership side, we have seen an uptick in our loan review times due to the incredible demand seen in time to own. We have already streamlined review of loan files for our largest lender and are continuing to seek ways to reduce the time needed for CHFA to return its commitment on a loan to each lender. Next slide, please. Objective 6 relates to CHFA and its board's view of where CHFA should focus its efforts for the most impact in the coming years, which is goal 1. As part of this objective, we will update the statewide housing needs assessment so that our understanding of the housing need is backed by the most recent state housing market data. And we're also seeking the board's approval for our next 3-year strategic plan. In working through that, we'd like to convene 1 to 2 in-person board retreats in 2023, as we did in 2022, as well as engaging with at least 2 communities in the state to partner with them on ways that the community might benefit from affordable housing, which could be a window into how CHFA could be a partner in these types of efforts and may allow us to focus our resources more effectively. Next, please. Objective 7 relates to technology modernization, which is goal 8 in the strategic plan. We recently completed our IT strategic plan, which was in line with our 2022 goals, and we are working with a consultant to implement parts of year 1 of the 5-year plan's goals to upgrade business applications, improve technology governance, enhance end user experience, and evaluate our IT network, data, and application infrastructure to support our business activities. Next, please. Objective 8 and Objective 9 relate to organizational development, which is goal 8. The key results of the first part of this objective are the creation and implementation of ongoing management training programs, business skills programs, professional development, office productivity skills training, and various training programs related to providing support to our employees. We want to engage employees more, and we want to see an improvement in how employees are feeling about CHFA and their work overall, and compare it to our 2020 survey. We're also going to develop a recruitment plan that allows us to engage more greatly with educational institutions and provide internship and training opportunities in order to expand our ability to recruit and retain employees. We have done a significant amount of work in this space already through succession planning. We're going to continue to deepen our understanding of where knowledge gaps are, work to provide career paths for employees, develop onboarding programs, and look for more ways to interview and recruit diverse candidates at all levels. Next slide, please. And then finally, but last but not least, organizational development goal, again, goal 8. One of our strategic planning goals was to create a DEIB initiative in 2022, which we did launch this year. We have a volunteer committee, a new position that is entrusted with engaging with employees on DEIB efforts of the organization, employee engagement, and internal communication. The committee has set out to develop a charter and a strategic plan that will guide several initiatives in the coming years around improving employee morale and engagement. That ends my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions from the board.
Thank you, Nandini. Questions, comments?
I thought that was well thought out and excellent. It was helpful too, how you tied everything back in. We didn't really have to jump around a lot. We could see exactly where the ideas were coming from.
Thank you, Greg. Any other comment? Okay. Thank you, Nandini. This is really good and exciting.
Thank you.
All right. Hazin, you're going to present the resolution to approve the 2023 budget.
Yes. So good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. For your consideration is a resolution to adopt the 2023 annual budget and plan of operations for CHFA. On October 27, we provided and presented a draft to the members. Since that presentation, we made 3 revisions. One slightly increasing the budget for IT by about 150,000, which increases the proposed budget for 2023 to 45.1 million. We did finalize the amounts for ITA and the Opportunity Fund. And finally, we did a revision to the 2023 9% low-income housing tax credit and the private activity bond volume cap per capita rates based on the recent IRS revenue procedures announcement. Lastly, we just want to indicate we did not receive any comments from any board members since the October meeting. The budget was discussed with Finance Committee, and the committee asked questions on the methodology and funding behind the ITA and the Opportunity Fund, the reasons behind the IT revisions, the DOH funding and implication to the authority's budget, projections on homeownership production and funding, and the impact by the fringe rate. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee. I therefore respectfully request the approval of the 2023 budget totaling about 45.1 million and the plan of operation as described herein. I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have at this time.
Thank you, Hazin. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution to adopt 2023 budget as presented?
So moved.
Can I have a
Second,
sec? Who was the second?
Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Dawn, could you please do the roll call?
Of course. Sherry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexandra Dom,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranza,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin. The vote passes unanimously.
Motion carries. Thank you, Don. Hazin, could you present the next resolution, which is the selection of financial advisors?
Yes. For your approval, a resolution to select financial advisors for CHFA financial programs. As required by our statute and procedures, we are to conduct and publish an RFP once every 3 years for financial advisors. The appointment will be effective for 3 years or for calendar year 2023, 24, and 25. The last evaluation was done in 2019. In summary, we received 5 proposals, and each proposal was evaluated using a set of criteria, including weighing the firm's experience, technical expertise, ideas, reputation, and financial stability. Accordingly, we are recommending 3 firms, Kane Mitter and Associates, CFX, and Mohanty Gargiulo to act as CHFA financial advisors and perform financial functions as determined by CHFA. The resolution was presented to Finance Committee, and the committee asked a few questions regarding the last engagement, the selection, and the RFP process. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee. I'm happy to answer any questions or address any comments the board may have at this time.
Thank you, Hazin. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Hazin?
I'll move.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions or comments?
So if we look at the indicators, is one firm minority and women-owned, a minority and women-owned business?
Yes. Yes, Greg.
Thank you. So one of the 3. And
Yes.
how many were incumbents? I'm just trying to look at that quick.
Two were incumbent.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Okay, Don?
Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexandra Dahm,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranzo,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Motion carries. Thank you. Mortgage Committee has 3 resolutions, and Pat Giuliano is going to present those. So we're going to start with the Hill Central Phase 1.
Madam Chair, board members, good morning. On Tuesday,
morning.
CHFA multifamily staff presented 3 requests to the mortgage committee. The first was Hill Central, Phase 1. It's a 64-unit project in the Hill neighborhood of New Haven. The request was for taxable bond financing, permanent loan only of $12.5 million at a rate not to exceed 7.515% for a term not to exceed 35 years. And an additional CMF funds of $1 million, payable 3% interest only during the 30-month construction period, and then 1% to be paid out of no more than 25% of cash flow over the course of 35 years. This project is going to demolish 32 existing units and replace it with 64 new units, 13 of which will be supportive. The development team is comprised of Rick Ross of Westmount, Enterprise Builders, and Newman Architects, all 3 of which have extensive experience with CHFA in our processes. The construction lender is TD Bank. We had some discussion about why TD Bank was involved and not CHFA during the construction period, but you should understand that TD Bank is also involved as the investor in this, and the additional benefit to the project was a raise of 96 cents on the tax credit. So it was highly impactful for the success of the project. The request was passed unanimously. I open up if anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve
Motion
the
to
resolution?
approve. Motion to approve the resolution.
Second, this is Heidi.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's Tim. I heard at the end of that, did you give the price per credit on that? I wasn't sure that I heard that. Did you say 96?
Yeah, it was 96 cents. Yeah, it's very high.
So what's, and I should know this, but I don't, what is kind of the going rate right now on pricing?
On these nines, we're seeing closer to the 90 range, 90 to 92. So this is a high raise. You'll see on the next project, TD Bank is also involved. They came in at 91 cents on that. So that's probably about the range we're seeing.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
And just like $400,000 a door on this one, that looks like the sort of going rate on all this stuff. I just wanted you to comment on just what we're seeing on construction costs.
Yes, construction costs continue to rise. We had some discussion about this in committee. You'll also note that our loan to value on this is only 55%. So if you want to break it down by loan to unit cost, it's still around the 200,000 range. So it's there's a lot of subsidy that's been brought into this project, along with the tax credit equity that's helping to allay some of these high construction costs. We're going to keep our eye on it. We continue to monitor the rise in construction costs. We haven't seen the plateau yet, but we think it's coming.
Not much to be done about it.
Yeah, Jerry, we did talk, this is Heidi, we talked about it because we used to complain about a unit cost of 350,000. Right now we're looking in excess of 400, sometimes 500, and it's frightening. But there are what we consider extraordinary expenses, and we have a goal, and how high do we need to go? That is the $24 question here.
And if I might, it's not just the accelerated construction costs on these projects. Both of these projects that we have demolition costs. They have federal Davis-Bacon wages.
Davis-Bacon, right? And that's a function of the HAP contract as far as Davis-Bacon.
Yes, so we're layering on a lot of additional costs. So the development team did a very good job. Both development teams did very good jobs in bringing in outside subsidy to offset some of these additional costs.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And-
Jerry.
Deputy Treasurer Hill, just one question. If I read and heard correctly, there were 32 units prior, 64 planned, and was it 30G stat, 33% affordable? How many of the prior 32 are affordable or existing?
I'm gonna look to Carol. Carol, how many of the existing 32 units were affordable?
All of the existing 32 units are Section 8 subsidized units, and all of them are affordable.
We're reducing the absolute number of affordable units
32.
at 33%. 33 of 64 is less than 32.
Correct.
This is just the first phase.
How many phases are there?
Carol,
There are two planned phases. And this is the first phase.
and how many are in the second phase?
There's no design plan as yet. I don't think the developer has put together a development strategy for the next phase. I think he's now focusing on this initial phase.
Thank you.
We're adding market rate units that didn't exist before.
Um,
We're doing away with 32, but we're bringing 51 total affordable units.
How do you know that if you don't know how many are in the second phase?
No, we're demolishing 30, they're demolishing 32 units, but they're building 64, 51 of which will be affordable.
So when I look at key metrics and it says 33.01% affordable, that math doesn't work.
That's the city of New Haven,
Oh. Important.
830
Thank you.
G status.
Do you have another question, Deputy?
No, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Paris?
Thank you. I'm extremely familiar with this area since I was raised on 514 Howard Avenue. And this is less than probably a couple hundred feet. And I was the adjoining alderman of that area, because that's Putnam Street is right there, cutoff for 28 years. This is a complex that was never really maintained well. And I know it's different players, but this is a complex that's going to fail again unless we really pay a lot of attention to the property manager. And I know that the mortgage committee does a great job, but I want to be on record on it because it's a very challenging area of New Haven. So I just want to go on record saying that the success of this project is going to be a lot depend on the management of those property and the adequate management of those property, which in the past has not been done. The city and whoever owned it, the co-ops residents did not do a good job.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments? All right, hearing none. John, could you please do the roll call?
Of course. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexander Dom,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mosquera Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Vote passes unanimously.
Motion carries. Thank you, Dawn. Pat, could you continue with the next resolution?
Sure. The next request was made for Valley Townhouses. It's a 40 unit proposed complex in the Amity section of New Haven. The request was again for permanent only taxable bond financing of $6.2 million at 7.5%, not to exceed 35 years. And there are opportunity funds of $4,374,000 at 1% to be collected from 25% of cash flow over the same 35 years. And that the payment of that would begin upon project completion. I'm sorry, the permanent loan would be in place upon project completion at 30 months. There was also a request for a return in exchange of the 2021 tax credits of $960,000. This does not affect the 2022 tax credit ceiling. Of the 40 new units, 7 will be 2 bedrooms, 17 will be 3 bedroom, 13 units will be 4 bedroom, and 3 will be 5 bedroom. I express that to you because of the rarity of 4 and 5 bedroom units, which total 16 in this project. 19 of the units will be at or below 25% AMI, and 13 of the units will be at or below 50%. The development team is the Glendower Group, which consists of the Glendower Group, which is an offshoot of the New Haven Housing Authority. Michael's development will be the GC, and Paul Bailey will be an architect, all again very experienced with CHFA. Again, TD Bank is the construction lender, and their raise was 91 cents on this. The request passed unanimously. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented?
Motion to approve the resolution?
Have a second.
Second.
Questions? Okay, hearing none. John, could you please do the roll call?
Jerry Abrahams. I'm sorry, Jerry, I didn't hear you. Would you say that one more time?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexandra Dahm,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranza,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don. Motion carries. Pat, do you want to do the last one? Las
Sure.
Cana Homes?
The last request made of mortgage committee was for Lascana Homes. It's a 46 unit proposed project in Orange, Connecticut, in a high opportunity area. The request was for opportunity funds, construction to perm of $1 million at 1%. It's interest only during the construction period of 24 months, and then interest accrual for 40 years thereafter, payable with 25%, with up to 25% of cash flow. There are 21 one-bedroom units, 21 two-bedroom units, and 4 three-bedroom units. 28 of the units will be between 30 and 50% AMI. 8 units at or below 80% AMI, and 10 units at 100% or below AMI. I just want to point out that according to CoStar, the 10 units at 100% provide on a one-bedroom $695 a month savings. A two-bedroom provides $808 savings, and on 3 bedrooms it provides a $1,532 a month savings. So these 100% AMIs are very important. They address a very important portion of the income bands. This development was awarded 9% in 2021. And the purpose of the opportunity funds is to fill some funding gaps that came up due to rising material costs. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Pat. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented?
So moved, Heidi.
Second, and just one comment too, it was very welcome to hear those opening remarks in the public comment, because in a high opportunity area like this, it's important that applicants really feel positive about the process. So that was very good to hear.
Thank you, Greg. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Don?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Alexandra Dahm,
Aye.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranza,
Sorry, I was muted. Aye.
thank you, Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don. Motion carries, and thank you to Carol for mentioning the good job that the staff is doing. Sometimes we hear complaints, so it's nice to hear positive feedback so that the staff continue to do the amazing work that they're doing. Thank you. All right, so we have other action items, and Hazin is going to present an MOU, a resolution for an MOU with the Department of Housing.
Yes, good morning again. The following resolution is to permit CHFA to extend an existing MOA with DOH and continue to pay the related expenses from its 2023 general and administrative budget by an additional year. Last year, the board approved an extension of a program that requires CHFA to provide financial support to DOH and its partner, Connecticut Coalition to End Homelessness, through the hiring of 3 durational employees. For 2023, DOH is committing $300,000 to offset a portion of the program expenses, and such amount was incorporated in the recently approved budget. I'm happy to answer any question the board may have regarding the request.
Thank you, Hazim. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by Hazim?
So moved. Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? All right, John, roll call, please.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexander Dom,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Galde.
Aye.
Vote passes unanimously.
Motion carries. Thank you, Dawn. The next item on the agenda is the election of the vice chairperson to the board. I spoke with Heidi and she gracefully has accepted to continue on to be the vice president. So I would like to have a motion to approve the election of the vice president.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Oh, awesome. Any comments or questions? John, could you please do the roll call?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexandra Dom,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Of course.
Kylie Goslin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Galde.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
A motion carries, and thank you, Heidi, for your commitment to keep assisting us.
Welcome.
Nandini, you're going to present the next resolution for the
Yep.
monthly meeting scheduled for calendar year 2023.
Yes, good morning again. Annually, as per our procedures, the board is required to adopt a resolution that relates to a schedule of regular monthly meetings for the upcoming calendar year. In keeping with previous years, we've laid out a schedule of monthly meetings. Points of note that the mortgage committee meetings are continuing to be held on the Tuesday before the board meeting and will be held only virtually. We have put in placeholders for QAP task force meetings, which are to be held every month at the moment after the board meeting. And the board meeting, of course, is to be held on the last Thursday of every month, except for November. And there are no board meetings in August and December. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hey, Nandini, it's Jerry. I noticed that in your strategic plan, you were wanting to do board retreats again, and I think that's an excellent idea. Do you have any months or dates soft circled yet on that?
You know, I do not. What I was contemplating, and I would, seek Sala's input here as well, is to hold special meetings that would be noticed with the appropriate notice period to the public, and for that we would get your input as to whether we should have those perhaps after a board meeting. or on a different date. So we can certainly discuss that going forward, but we're flexible. And my only caveat would be that if we were to have 2 meetings next year, that we would spread them apart so that we can be appropriately prepared to discuss relevant items.
Right, and on that, I guess the board, to that point, the board retreat we had last year, which again, I thought you did a great job and was a huge success. We did that in May. If you're going to do 2, we probably want to think about getting that first retreat earlier in the year. Also allows the board members to have maybe a bigger impact on our performance this year. And so if that's the case, then we probably need to start getting organized, pretty quick if we wanted to move that up a month or so.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the retreats at the moment as a combination of strategic planning strategic planning for the new plan, some board education to the extent that's needed or desired, and finally, maybe some other program design or other interesting other items of interest to the board. So I'm happy to look at different ideas and seek input from the board in coming up with some agendas for those retreats.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Can I have a motion to approve the resolution presented by the CEO?
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
Any other comment? Nandini? Tom, please, could you do the roll call?
Of course.
Thank you, Nandini.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Alexander Dom,
Yes.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Yes.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Agalde.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Our last item on the agenda is our consent agenda. If I can have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Moved.
You have Commissioner Perez.
Second.
What I would like to do is ask for a favor, if someone could email my secretary the schedule, so that you can get it in my calendar.
We'd
Okay.
be happy to do that.
Thank you, appreciate that. That was it.
Okay, thanks. Don?
Second.
We did have a second, Catherine
Yeah.
McKinnon, I believe, yes. Okay,
Yes.
very good. Jerry Abrahams,
I'm sorry, this is for the consent agenda?
Yes, this is
Yes,
the.
it is.
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Alexander Dom,
Aye.
Wendy Clark, Phil DeFranco,
Aye.
Heidi DeWeingart,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin, Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry, Daryl Hill,
Aye.
Lisa Tupper Bates,
Aye.
Greg Agalde.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you, Don. Motion carries. Before we end, any comments or any questions from the board members?
Were those retreats going to be in Connecticut, or are we going to exotic locations, do you think?
Really, where do you want to go, Greg?
Yeah, we're going to Hartford, Connecticut. How's that? Go back to Meriden.
That's exotic.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a great spot, by the way.
we probably do it in the middle of the state so that everybody can come in. we would love to go to one of those islands in the middle of the winter, right? Any other comment or question before we end?
Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody, and see you next year.
Yeah, so this will be our last meeting for the year. I want to thank everyone and wish happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for your commitment to affordable housing. Thank you for all the help and feedback that we get. It just makes us better. I'm talking to both on behalf of the department and on behalf of CHFA and the staff. To the staff, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for all your work. To the board members, thank you for your participation. And we'll see you next year. Happy New Year.
That's great.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. We have 8 minutes.